32 kilometres southwest from Woodner now, because we read about, surprise, surprise, some more rocks. And we don't want to feel like we're missing out on anything. We've got FOMO, haven't we, Aidan?
We can't go to Build Up a Rock because it's closed for upgrades to the recreation area.
Yeah, so I wanted to take Aidan to Pildappa Rock, which is further on west, but it is closed at the moment. They're doing renos and things for the, I guess, the campgrounds and the facilities. So we're looking at all the other rocks at the moment that I've driven past a few times on my travels. It's always good to come back and do some things that you haven't done before. So this one's called Ukuntichi or Ukuntichi, not sure how you pronounce it. Apparently a photographer's and sculptor's heaven, the way the rocks are shaped. So when we read that, we thought we can't miss it. So here we are on the dirt road.
They probably think we have rocks in our heads.
These rocks are on private property, so you come through a cattle grid and a couple of gates. But they do allow people to visit. And you kind of think all the rocks would look the same, but they never do. This reminds me very much of rocks on Kangaroo Island in South Australia. And also, I'm sure many of you have been to or would like to visit Wave Rock in Western Australia. I'm just going to pop around the side of this and check that out, because apparently it is a little like that. Everything looks like it's balancing so precariously up there. Feels a bit creature-like, this one. Huge caverns under there. You do wonder how long these rocks up the top will balance for. Been doing it probably for millions of years and still there, but one day you do wonder if they're going to roll down. It's pretty specky. What do you think, Aidan?
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah?
Especially over there, how it's just undercut, but then it just seems to flow down back into the rock.
Yes.
And then over here it reminds you a bit of some of the photos I've seen of Wave Rock in WA.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, we don't need to go to WA. We've got everything here in South Australia.
South Australia is pretty good, I've got to say. Stunning beaches. You know, the outback.
Quartz line through the granite.
Ah, yes. And the colours are quite specky. Sorry to those of you that aren't rock nerds like us. Rock nerds or rock stars? It's a good example of the granite. The colours. Oh, sorry, it's probably. I know it's hard to see the scale of these rocks without us standing up there. It's quite steep. But if Aidan goes up there, you can kind of see the caves, and probably just lost him now. But they're quite stunning. Definitely worth the drive out, we think.
Give you some perspective.
Hang on a sec, love, because you've got beautiful views of all the surrounding farms as well. So Aidan's about 6 foot. If you can see him in the shadows there. Try and give you a little bit of perspective. The stunners out here. We're on quite steep angles here, and if this rock, huge rock that we're under, is balancing on this little rock right here, that one. Sorry about my zooming, everyone, but you know I'm actually trying to keep my balance where I am. Yeah, I think we might be in trouble. Aidan just said, should he try kicking it out? Funny man. Maybe he doesn't really like his wife that much. Once again, they've done everything they can to capture the precious water runoff out here. a long way. We've ended up walking around the whole base. Of course we have. No surprises. We've taken a turn off the Eyre Highway to a spot called Lake Gillies. Well, we think it's Gillies. Not sure if it's Giles or Gillies, but pretty sure it's Gillies. So it's a salt lake. It's a bit warm, but it's absolutely stunning. And you can camp here. There's a campground. I think we would definitely come and camp here if the time of day was right, or we had the van even. What do you think, Aidan?
I think so.
Yeah, great.
Well, it is a national park, so you can't have animals.
Yeah, national park, so unfortunately no dogs. Probably wouldn't want to be in here anyway. I'm sure they probably do baiting, so it's just outside of timber. And a great spot to stop and have a look if you've never seen a salt lake before. There's always so much to look at, and particularly at night time, when all the bugs and beetles and all the things that live here start to come out. It's just so quiet. I think an emu's been walking across over there. And the colours are just beautiful, and I'm sure they change with the day. And the sun is actually a bit wet and squelchy at the moment. Don't tell anyone. We're at Secret Rocks. Feels like we're leaving no stone unturned in the area. If there's a rock, we have to see it. But this one, they're doing some great conservation work. I did see they've got the Dunarts in here. And as you can see, they've put up a fence through a huge area, which is a herbivore exclusion area, so keeping out the roos, the feral goats, the rabbits, so that our wildlife might have a bit of a chance. Go and check it out. So basically they run this fence, a bit like a good old chook fence, isn't it? Try and stop animals from digging underneath.
Bigger version of the dingo fence.
Yeah. So old matey John Edward Eyre passed through here back in the day. Apparently there's some springs somewhere. I'm thinking they're over behind the rocks. There is a bit of limited access. It's very serene here, very calm, beautiful. So many birds around. It's just lovely. You can camp here actually in front of the rocks. There's a couple of clearings. And you can actually come here with pets, but it does say obviously they need to be restrained because there's baiting in the area, and I don't think it would be that favourable to bring them into the conservation area. But a nice spot for an overnighter. Bit off the beaten track, of course, but that's travelling with us. I always like to try and get one of us into the video, so it gives you a bit of perspective of the size of things, doesn't it? Definitely valuable water resource here when it does rain and all these crevices pull. Stunning views here. I don't know where all the people are. We just never seem to see anyone to the places that we go to.
But we're not complaining.
What does that say about us, Aidan? Bit off the beaten track, huh?
Yes. That's what we like.
Yeah. Dirt. Quiet. Bit of serenity from the busy world. There's a couple of little camping bays here, and unfortunately for us it's not the right time of the day to stop overnight, because I can just imagine that overnight the place would come alive. You can see lots of little burrows, little creatures. It's just too hot today. I haven't even seen one lizard. It's only about 28 degrees, but when you're out on the hot sand and the hot rocks, it really feels quite hot. So we're putting this on our list of come back tos for sure if you need an overnight stop. Goes without saying, of course, take your rubbish with you. There's no facilities here at all, but well off the main highway, nice and quiet. So we'll just have a cuppa for now and then head on.